Title: Epictetus, the slave who became a philosopher. The sound of iron chains rattled as a young slave limped through the corridors of his master's grand Roman villa. His name was Epictetus. Born into servitude, he knew little of freedom, but he understood suffering. His leg had been twisted at birth, or perhaps injured by a cruel hand. No one knew for certain. What was certain was that his master, Epictetus, a powerful freedman in Emperor Nero's court, saw him as little more than property. But Epictetus had something no master could take from him: his mind. The Slave and the Philosopher. As a young man, Epictetus was permitted to attend lectures by the great Stoic teacher Musonius Rufus. His master, indifferent to philosophy, saw no harm in allowing his slave an education. But to Epictetus, it was everything. In the words of the Stoics, he found a freedom that no chains could constrain. He learned that while he could not control his body, his status, or his master's whims, he could control his mind. One day, Epictetus tested his slave's resilience. He had heard of the Stoics' claim that pain and suffering were only as powerful as one's mind allowed. So, gripping Epictetus's leg, he twisted it violently. "Do what you will," Epictetus said calmly, "but you will break my leg." A crack echoed through the room, followed by searing pain. "I told you so," Epictetus whispered through clenched teeth. But he did not cry out. Freedom in chains. Years passed. Though his body bore the marks of slavery, Epictetus's mind soared free. He observed the corruption of Nero's court, the fleeting nature of power, and the self-inflicted misery of those who sought external control over life's uncontrollable events. When Nero fell, so too did Epictetus, leaving Epictetus with a new status: freedman. Yet, freedom did not bring luxury. Unlike many former slaves who sought wealth, Epictetus sought wisdom. He traveled to Nicopolis, where he established a small school. Students came from all over the empire to hear him speak, drawn by his simple yet profound lessons. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle: some things are within our control, and some things are not. A lesson for an emperor. One day, a young, ambitious man sat among his students. He listened intently, though he was no ordinary pupil. His name was Hadrian, soon to be Emperor of Rome. "Master Epictetus," Hadrian asked, "if you were emperor, what would you do?" Epictetus smiled. "That is not for me to say. But if I were an emperor, I would rule as though I were merely a servant of wisdom, for power means nothing if a man is not master of himself." Hadrian nodded. Years later, as one of Rome's 5 good emperors, he would remember the words of the crippled philosopher. The Stoics' final days. As old age crept upon him, Epictetus never sought wealth, status, or even a family of his own. Instead, he adopted an orphaned child, raising him as a father should, not with riches, but with wisdom. His life was a testament to his philosophy: freedom through self-discipline, strength through acceptance, and wisdom through self-mastery. When death came, he did not fear it. He had lived as he taught, content with what he could control, accepting what he could not. And in the centuries that followed, his teachings lived on, inspiring emperors, generals, prisoners, and scholars alike. For though Epictetus had once been born a slave, he had died freer than any king. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus.